News. Buhari gives accounts of his 8 years as president. Says he's not ashamed of increasing Nigerians' debt to 77 trillion naira. Do welcome to today's news. And thank you for tuning in to this channel. But please do well to subscribe to this channel by clicking on the subscribe button and also the bell for more updates. Now to the news details. Please listen carefully to the end. In a brief summary of his term in office, outgoing President Muhammadu Buhari stated that he is not ashamed of plunging Nigeria into a 77 trillion naira debt. Recall that the Debt Management Office (DMO) had predicted that President Muhammadu Buhari will leave a massive debt of 77 trillion naira for the new administration as a result of the government's continued borrowing. The agency's director, Patience Onia, stated that fresh borrowing of 10.57 trillion naira were included in the 2023 budget. During a public presentation of the budget for that year at the National Assembly on January 4, 2023. According to the data that was available, government bonds, saving bonds, treasury bills, ZUKIK, and green bonds made up almost 60% of the total amount of internal debt, or debt that is not covered by external borrowing. Government promissory notes to enterprises that received export expansion grants accounts for 2.3% of all internal loans. Industry analysts assert that whomever succeeds President Buhari would have difficult economic decisions given the escalating budget deficits and the fact that the 2023 budget is intended to be a deficit document that will be financed by borrowing. According to a recent data study by the Budget Office of the Federation, President Buhari's total budget deficit is projected to reach 47.43 trillion naira. The research includes projected and actual budget deficits for the fiscal years 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023. The findings show that deficit financing increased from 2.41 trillion naira in 2016 to 11.34 trillion naira in 2023, an increase of 370.54%. In the third and fourth quarters of 2015, total deficit financing amounted to 81.48 billion naira. It rose to 2.41 trillion naira in 2016, 3.81 trillion naira in 2017, 3.65 trillion naira in 2018, 4.18 trillion naira in 2019, 6.59 trillion naira in 2020, and 6.44 trillion naira in 2021. While the total deficit for 2022 has not been released, the Budget Office expects the figure to hit 8.17 trillion, of which 6.37 trillion had been spent by November 30, 2022. The office also anticipates a high deficit financing of 8.17 trillion for the 2023 fiscal year. Between the third and fourth quarters of 2015 to 2020, the first 3 quarters of 2021, and the first 4 quarters of 2022, the federal government spent 23.66 trillion naira on personnel costs, pensions, overhead costs, presidential amnesty program, other service-wide votes, and special interventions. However, in a statement that was released on Saturday, May 27, 2023, Buhari urged Nigerians to analyze the debt profile while also taking into account the nation's assets and investments. The president claimed that under his leadership, Nigerians' infrastructure stock as a percentage of GDP increased from roughly 20 to over 40%. The president said the growth is no small undertaking in the message that was shared on Twitter. According to him, this happened during a worldwide oil price collapse, a national recession, and a war in Europe. The DMO told us that Nigerian debt has increased and it remains small for it to eat 77 trillion naira. Now, this debt, as it has been said, that is going to affect the next administration because they will need to first clear this debt because there's no way they can get funds. But Buhari is saying that he's ashamed that he did not wish. He's not ashamed, of increasing Nigerians' debt to 77 trillion naira. So Buhari wants to turn the country to a debt country, whereby every other country will know that this country are in debt. And how will this debt be repaid back if you've collected loans from the countries that the next administration is supposed to collect loan from? And the loans increased year by year since Buhari came into power in 2015. What are those loans used for? And why has it increased